Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So I have been getting a lot of requests to do a sort of braided updo for homecoming. So today that is just what I am going to show you, and the best part is you don't even need a curling iron. So let's get started. So you'll want to start out with combed through hair. And then we are going to take a deep side part. From this side part, we are going to section down all the way behind the ears. And we're just gonna clip this up and out of the way. And we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And we're gonna clip up and out of the way. All right, now we're gonna section the back. All right, so about 2 fingers above the ear, we are going to section this back piece off and we're going to clip it away. Now we're going to take this back section and we're going to do 2 basic 3-strand braids. Okay, so nothing fancy. We're gonna stop about 3/4 of the way and we are going to dramatically pull this braid apart. And it is okay if it starts to unravel and little pieces come out, because we almost don't even want this to look like a braid. We're really just creating some fun texture to make a bun out of. And we're gonna add an elastic. And then this little trick, we're gonna loop the ends. We're not going to leave them shooting straight out. It makes it a lot easier to tuck away. And you can even pull a little down here too, so that when you pull this back, you have something that's going to fill in the neck area. Okay, this side's done. Now we're going to go on to the other side. Now I'm going to pause and we're going to pull this braid apart just like we did on the other side. Remembering to loop that end. All right. Go through if you have to and really mess up that braid. We do not want this perfect. All right, now we're just gonna throw those behind us and we're gonna move on to the crown. Okay, so we're gonna pick up the front section here and we're gonna bring it all the way forward. This is called over direction, which means it's being pulled forward off of the base of the hair where it grows, like where your root is. You're over directing it. And that's going to give you a more natural forward lift when you tease and bring everything back. So we're not going to do a crazy tease, just a light tease at the base, keeping the hair over directed. And that's probably all we need. All right, so give it a light little comb over the top. See how nice that is? And now we're just going to do a really simple, maybe 1 or 2 stitch basic French braid. So this always gets tricky when you have to transition your arms, because obviously I don't have super long arms and can't continue braiding down my back. So I have to swivel around. And so I always remember that the pieces I'm holding between my index and middle is the one that's gonna go over next, so you don't get lost when you switch everything forward. So I know this is the hair that's going next, so I'm just gonna continue down. And at about this point, I'm gonna stop, and just like I previously did to the other braids, dramatically pull this guy apart. All right, we're almost done, and we move on to the front. This is gonna be the easiest updo you could ever imagine, and you can absolutely do this on yourself as long as you know how to do basic braids, which I will link below because I just shared a tutorial all on how to do basic braids. Just the 3-strand, the French braid, and the fishtail braid. That's the perfect place to start if you're not really too comfortable with braiding quite yet. Okay, so we're gonna stop, leave a little bit of the end out, grab a hair tie, remembering to loop the ends, just like that. And now we're gonna move on to the front. All right, make sure you're all nice and combed out. Oh, and see how the teasing just, gave me a little bit of something to see from the front? Okay, so what we're gonna do with this section, because I want it to really sweep, we are going to make sure we are pulling the tension of our braid way down over the forehead. So we are just going to do a simple French braid where we're taking pieces over the top. But when you get to the stitch, when I say stitch, I'm referring to when you pick up hair. So our first stitch is going to come all the way down to the hairline. And then it's gonna come over. And we're not gonna pick up any hair on the bottom piece. All right, we're gonna take our next stitch all the way down to the hairline. And then we're gonna go right over the top. All right, so we're just gonna continue working down, making sure to pull the braid over your forehead. All right, so now that we are getting towards the temple, we're gonna wanna start pulling our tension more back towards our ear, so that the hair naturally starts sweeping backwards. And if you want, this would be a good time to pull out some wispies. Okay, so now I'm also gonna go back through and really pancake out this braid, concentrating more so on the front stitches, because this side we're not really gonna be able to pancake out because this isn't a Dutch braid. Look how cool that looks. All right, just keep on braiding. So now, like I said, I'm gonna pull the braid back towards my ear. Very cool. Alright, so now I'm just going to sloppily braid the rest of my ends and loop the ends that aren't braided in the elastic. Alright, that looks really good. And remembering to loop in the end. Okay, so now to keep this more down around my forehead and not flip up, which a French braid tends to do more so than a Dutch braid, I'm just gonna place it flat and take a bobby pin, and I'm gonna go down into the braid, keeping it flat against my forehead. really want to even have some more wispies falling out from the braid. And if you want, you can add a little wave in them, but like I said, this is a heat-free hairstyle, so. All right, I'm gonna do one more right here and we'll move on to the other side. All right, so now all we have is this section left and we can assemble our braided bun. So now I'm just gonna take a big section and we're just gonna do another French braid. But this time we are gonna take stitches from both sides. Just as I get to this point, I'm gonna pause and pull some wispies out. I don't have too many short ones, so I think that's all I'm gonna get on that side. Okay, so remembering to pull the direction of the braid back towards the bun so that when we secure it in that direction, it looks very natural and not like we're forcing it to go that direction. Okay, gonna do a couple more passes and then we're gonna start to pancake out this one. So this one I'm gonna leave a little bit tighter than the rest because I think throughout the bun having a different texture size, the braid, will be a really cool element to add to it. All right, so now we have all of these cool different size braids to play with and create the most amazing bun. So I'm gonna turn around and I am totally doing this blind and see what I come up with. So now I'm gonna take these two bottom braids and I'm gonna roll them up and secure them into little buns with bobby pins. Now we're just gonna take the rest of our braids and just kind of play around with what works best. Use your creative eye for this step. Well, that completes this hair tutorial. A completely no heat, entirely braided, easy updo. I hope you enjoyed this. If you use it for homecoming, I hope you have an awesome time. Be sure to share pictures with me on our social media, which I left down below. We are always shouting out our hair pics we get from you guys. We love to share them and we love to see them. So I hope you enjoyed this and be sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video. Bye!